Expect chance to make friends and network with other professionals.
Between the Flyers of Lewis University of Romeoville, Illinois, and the IPFW Mastodons. And Charlie, for both teams, this Great Lakes Valley Conference game is critical because both teams come into this contest with league records of 3-1, trailing Southern Indiana and Kentucky Wesleyan, who are 4-0 and 3-0 respectively in the conference.
Always a big game, and you're going to look for a big game whenever we play the Lewises, the Kentucky Wesleyans, and Southern Indiana. Also a very interesting time of the year. Class has been out for a few weeks, so the guys have had a chance to focus completely on basketball. So it'll be a good barometer to see just how good this team is going to be against a very good Lewis team. And again, as you stated, very important game at this stage of the season.
Well, the Lewis Flyers come into this contest with a record of 9-1, 3-1 in GLVC play. They returned 4 starters from last year's team. The last 2 years have been very good for Coach Jim Whitesell's ball club because they have won over 20 games each of the last 2 years. They made an appearance in the NCAA Division II National Tournament last year. And the good things keep on happening for the Flyers, being 9-1. And for the IPFW Mastodons under first-year coach Doug Knoll, they come into this contest with a record of 6-4 overall, but 3-1 in conference play as well. And they had, shall we say, kind of a heart-stopping win Thursday night at Wisconsin Parkside, defeating the Rangers 70-67. So, critical game for both teams.
Very much so, and again, Lewis always going to be a very good team, and you can't really key on one player. They have one player averaging 19 points. They have a player averaging 11. Then they've got about 5 or 6 guys averaging 8 and 7 points a game. So a lot of contributors and not really 1 or 2 people that IPFW will be able to key on. So they have to get a whole team pitching in and playing this Lewis team very tough.
Well, as we get close to time for starting lineups, let's take a look at the starting lineups. First, for Lewis University, as we said, coached by Jim Whitesell in his 8th year at the helm. At one guard, Terry Monroe. I'm sorry, at a forward, I should say. Terry Monroe, a 6'7", 210-pound senior. At a guard, Jonah Batambuzi, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. Jonah is a 5'9", 160-pound junior. At another forward position, Jeremy Warner. Jeremy is 6'8", 210, and a senior. At the other guard position will be Josh Verastko, 6 foot, 170-pound junior. And at the swing position will be Jeremy Wilson, a 6'3", 180-pound senior. For the IPFW Mastodons, and they'll run a 3-guard offense. One guard, number 21, Benji Gibbs. Benji is 6'2", 200-pound senior. At another guard will be Randy Spicer, the table setter, so to speak. Randy, a 6'1", 180-pound senior. At the third guard position will be leading scorer Steve Griffin. Steve is 6'3", 185 pounds and a senior, and he had 26 points Thursday night. At the forward position will be 6'5", 205-pound sophomore Nick Wise out of Plymouth High School. And starting at center will be Aaron Ishman. Aaron, 6'6", 217, and a senior. In a nutshell, Charlie, keys to victory for these 2 ball clubs today.
I'm sorry?
What are the keys to victory for both of these ball clubs today?
I think that the big key for IPFW is to come in here and play their tempo. They're on their home court, and just about at any level of basketball, the big key, first of all, to score more baskets than the other team. But there are a couple of ways to do that. One way is to not have silly turnovers is one way to do that, and also offensive rebounding and rebounding as a whole, controlling your defensive boards and then getting some offensive boards, thusly making sure you get shots. Some great teams, the Chicago Bulls, the Jordan-era Bulls, didn't shoot real high percentages, but they got a tremendous amount of offensive rebounds, and they didn't turn the ball over, and that's what IPFW has to do tonight.
How much does the experience factor? We mentioned that Lewis has 4 other 5 starters back from a year ago. How much might that play in this ball game?
The big thing is that those guys have played together. So a lot of times you don't have the errant passes and guys not knowing where the other is going to be at this stage of the season, and they've all played together for a full year, at least all of them. That's going to create some problems for IPFW with their familiarity. But, hey, when you get the GLVC, as tough a conference as this is, anywhere, anytime, it's going to be a tough game, and it really doesn't matter who's playing who.
Well, as I said, we'll take a quick look as we're moments away from tip-off. We said Southern Indiana, Kentucky Wesleyan, traditional powers, unbeaten in conference play. Then you've got Lewis and IPFW at 3-1. Northern Kentucky at 2-1. Their loss was to Lewis. And then the rest of the way down the pack, Missouri St. Louis, Indianapolis, and SIU Evansville at 2-2, and so forth. So a big ball game for both teams. And as I mentioned to Jay Webb Horton in the women's game, perhaps more so for IPFW because it's a home game for them.
Exactly.
Well, we're about ready to tip it off. Lewis in their road black uniforms with red and white trim. The Dons in the home white with blue trim. Tap controlled by the Flyers. And we are underway. Right away, you can see man-to-man defense employed by IPFW. Flyers love to move that ball around.
Good defense so far, and it's very important. First few minutes of the game, very important.
Jonah Badambuzi with the ball. Three-pointer on the way, in and out, no good. Controlled by Ishman. Ball knocked out of bounds at the other end. Last touch by IPFW, and it will be Lewis basketball. Just underway here at the Hilliard Gates Sports Center. Glad you could join us here in College 56 Sports. Lewis trying to move the ball. Nice feed inside. Jeremy Warner gets fouled going up, and he will go to the line.
And that's not a bad foul by Randy Spicer. You don't want to see Lewis get off the ground with a dunk shot there. So it's a very good foul by Randy Spicer. Make the guy go to the line and earn him.
Jeremy Warner at the stripe. First free throw is no good. For the year, Warner 66% foul shooter, 31 of 47 before that shot. Second free throw good, so Flyers are on the board with a 1-0 lead. Wise for three, short, rebound controlled by Griffin. Steve Griffin for three, no good.
Good
Rebound, Ishman, shot up and in.
Ish on the glass. And that's what he has to give you. For this team to be effective, Aaron Ishman has to give you those types of energy rebounds and points.
Don's up on top, 2-1, a minute and a half into the contest. Badambuzi watched by Spicer. Turnaround shot short by Monroe. Dons with the board.
And if Monroe's going to shoot that shot with Benji Gibbs on him, we'll take that.
Inside dish to Griffin. Steve knows what to do with it. Put it up and in. 4-1, IPFW with the lead.
They're not going to give you that flop in the GOVC. You got to play good, hard defense in this league.
Ball taken away by Spicer. Griffin wants to run, but here's a ball stripped from him by Jeremy Wilson. Second turnover on IPFW. Baratsko with the ball. Flyers moving it around. Baratsko for three, in and out, no good. Fight for the rebound. Out of bounds, last touch by Lewis, so it'll be IPFW basketball.
We played close to 3 minutes, and IPFW has sustained a 4-1 lead. Very important, the first 3 minutes of the game, last 3 minutes of that first half, first 3 minutes of the second half, and of course, the last 3 minutes of the game.
Spicer with the ball. Steve Griffin. Lewis also playing the man-to-man. Dish to Ishman. Ish fakes the shot, kicks it back out to Benji Gibbs. Benji for three.
And that's what you want to see. That's what you want to see if you're an IPFW fan, as Lewis calls a timeout. Benji Gibbs hitting his first shot, a three-point shot. Now the rest of his game should all come together now.
Timeout on the floor, 16:59 left, 7-1 Mastodons. We'll take a break.
I really wanted to go for an Indiana University business degree.
But with housing and tuition, it really adds up, and the money just wasn't there to go away to college. And with a 2-year-old, my housing options were kind of limited anyway.
And the truth is, I really wanted to keep my job and stay close to home.
Going to IPFW made all that possible.
IPFW? The best choice I ever made.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The right school, right here, right now.
Welcome back to the Gates Center. Don's on top 7-1 in the early going. And as we see Doug Noll meet with the troops. Here's a replay. Last possession and that nice three-point shot by Benji Gibbs.
And as I stated, a great shot for him. Not a pure shooter, but Benji certainly is an effective shooter. But if he can get in, hit his first shot, the rest of his game definitely should come around in terms of defense and energy plays.
Well, the Flyers are going to inbound the basketball. They scored the first point of the contest, but they have seen IPFW run off 7 points in a row, and they're looking for their first field goal from the floor.
Good pressure on the ball by Randy Spicer there.
Adam Boozy, watched by Spicer, takes it in the glass, fires it up and in. Jonah Boozy, his first points, and it's 7-3. Dons with the lead.
It's good penetration on Lewis's part, something you don't want to see if you're an IPFW fan.
Benji for three, no. Rebound Warner. And here come the Flyers. Inside move by Warner, dishes off underneath the Monroe, shot up and in. Let's see if they count it.
I think he was in the act of shooting.
Count the bucket. Foul is on Spicer, Randy's second. I'm sorry, make that Aaron Ishman. Aaron Ishman with the foul, his first, team second.
Turns out to be a very effective timeout by the Flyers, as they've gotten right back into this basketball game.
Tari Monroe makes the free throw. And we got a substitution. Dave Meshberger, the 6'10 senior from South Adams High School, in the lineup. And all of a sudden, it's 7-6. It was 7-1 a moment ago. Don's trying to extend the lead. Ball was kicked. They'll reset the shot clock, and they should bring in a substitution. Michael Akani, a name we haven't heard from in a while, but the senior got his academic problems resolved and is eligible this second semester. And welcome addition to the ball club.
He certainly is a player with much athletic ability.
Missed the shot, got his own rebound, missed a second shot and a third, but he is fouled. And he'll go to the line shooting two. Foul is on Boozy. Jonah's first, team first.
Michael's one of those prototypical, what you call a swing player, a slasher. Not much Michael can't do. He can put the ball on the floor. He can jump out of the gym. Pretty reliable shooter. And has been playing well, averaging about 12 or 13 points. This is, I think, his fifth game.
Missed the first free throw. Came in hitting 60% from the stripe, 9 of 15. Missed the second as well. Monroe with the board. Flyers on the run. Looking for their retake the lead. Warner takes it to the glass, lays it up and in. Jeremy Warner now with 3 points. And you can tell that Lewis is a good ball club. Griffin baseline shot, rolls around and in.
On the double pump. As you stated, Lewis is a tough team. You don't just become 9-1 in this conference by not being a good basketball team.
Monroe in the paint, fires short. Warner with the offensive board, puts it up and in. Warner with 5. And it's a 10-9 Flyer lead. Spicer, top of the key. Lob pass, Gibbs. not successful. Here comes Lewis. Ball knocked out of bounds by Meshberger. Pass intended for Veratsko. It'll remain Lewis basketball. Substitution for the Dons. The coach's son, Brad Knoll, 6 foot, 180-pound freshman. Checks in the ball game. And it looks like we've got a timeout on the floor. You too can participate in the excitement of IPFW athletics by joining the Royal Dons Athletic Association. The Royal Dons is IPFW's official athletic booster organization. Members enjoy benefits such as priority seating at IPFW sports events and food and refreshments in the hospitality room. For more information about the Royal Dons, call 219-481-6958 or write to the Royal Dons Club, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Charlie, 14:32 left in the first half, and it's kind of been a game of runs.
Right now, a good timeout by IPFW. It's very important at this stage of the game with this possession that they get a good shot. Set something up, get something inside if you can. If you can't get it inside, kick it back out. And you have some very reliable shooters in there. And it's very important to score. I know it's early in the game, but Lewis has kind of been on a little surge as of late. And it's very important right now that IPFW gets the tempo back into their favor.
Well, IPFW enjoyed a 7-point run to get a 7-1 lead. And since then, they've been outscored 9-2. So, as you say, it's a game of runs, and let's see what happens henceforth. We got a little discussion at the scorer's table. I think it's over the amount of time left on the shot clock, and they set it up for 18 seconds. So it'll be Lewis basketball. Banambuzi. On the wing to Wilson. Boy, the Flyers moved that ball well. Veratsko inside the arc. His first points of the night. 12-9 the score now in favor of Lewis. Griffin faked the three. Brad Knoll from long distance. Yes!
That's the good possession that I was just talking about. We didn't quite get it inside, but we did get a very good look and a very reliable outside shooter in Doug Knoll knocking down the three. Great possession.
The game is now tied at 12. Wilson inside pass to Warner. Warner puts it up and in, and that's 7 points now for Jeremy Warner.
That's a nifty pass.
Makes it 14-12. Flyers back on top. Akani from way outside, no good. Not sure that was the right shot. Veratsko for three, in and out, no good. Warner has the ball taken away by Griffin. Knoll for three, no. Warner with the board.
That's the shot. You don't mind him taking that. And you stated Michael Akani can hit that shot, but I'm not sure if that was the right time on the clock to take it right then.
Flyers on the perimeter. Wilson for three, no. Rebound, Meshberger. And here comes IPFW. Spicer, nice dish inside. No, reverse layup, no good. Ball picked up by Lewis. Doug Knoll questioning whether or not a foul should have been called. Warner to Wilson. Banambuzi for three. No. Rebound. Akani.
Unfriendly rim, and it's a good time to be unfriendly when Lewis shoots the ball.
Now in the second half, it might be a different story. Meshberger knocks one down. Dave Meshberger hits his first shot. And it ties the game at 14 apiece as we near the 12-minute mark here in the first half.
There's not much Lewis or anybody else is going to do about that little hook shot, Meshberger, if he can develop that and be effective with it.
Wilson stopped the first time, hits the second, he's fouled, and he'll go to the stripe trying to make a three-point play. see who they called that foul on.
It should have been on Michael Akani.
And it is. His first, team third.
Wholesale substitutions here.
Well, let's see. D'Angelo Woodall is in for the Dons. And let's see who else. Wise, Knoll, Woodall, Meshberger. Is that Mr. Crow?
That's who that
Dwight
is.
Crow.
So it looks like up front we have Woodall and Knoll.
Warner makes the free throw to complete the three-point play. He's already in double digits with 10 points.
That's just about his average. He came in averaging 11.
Ball knocked away. Wilson dishes off. Left-hand shot is no good, but the rebound put back by John Jones.
And
Enters
right
the
now,
lineup.
this tempo, Mike, is certainly in the favor of Lewis.
Woodall looking for some help.
Right now, he's having all kinds of problems, John, getting into the flow of this basketball game.
Seems strange not seeing Crow with that nose guard on. Shot up and in by Crow. And I think
Well, he was hitting him when he had it on, and he's come out hitting his first shot now, so I guess it doesn't matter, Mike.
Makes it 19-16. Lewis with the lead and the ball. Warner wants to drive on Meshberger.
Good
Cut off.
defense.
Three-point shot away, no good. That was by Jamal Vargas. Dons with the board. Inside Meshberger, turnaround hook shot, no. Rebound Warner.
That's still a good shot, Mike. He didn't knock that one down, but there's not much the Lewis defenders are going to be able to do about that. That's not a bad possession. And IPFW down 3, haven't really played that well outside of that first 7-point run, and still very much in this basketball game.
Shot up and in by Everett Stubblefield, his first field goal of the day. Restores the lead to 5, 21-16 as we near the midway point of the first half. Steal. And taking it and laying it in is Jeremy Wilson. And that
Timeout,
results in a timeout on the floor called by IPFW. Learn more about IPFW sports in season by tuning into Mastodon Spotlight each Wednesday evening on College 56. Some character named Mike Miles will review the week's sports activities, look at game footage, and talk with coaches on the program. That is Mastodon Spotlight, seen Wednesday evenings at 8:30 right here on College 56 Sports. And
I've been catching that, Mike. You do a fantastic job. That character does a great job with that.
I have a lot of fun with it, and I'm grateful to the people at IPFW and the coaches and the staff at the station. It is a lot of fun doing that show. Well, Doug Knoll calls the 30-second timeout. What does he tell his troops down by 7?
First of all, they have to make some better passes. He tells them ball fake. Make some ball fakes. Make some good passes. A ball fake is going to create a stimulus and possibly get the Lewis guys out of position. Calm the tempo down and make good passes.
Brad Knoll with the basketball. Wise for 3. Yes, a badly needed bucket by Nick
Just
Wise.
like the coach drew it up. Make good passes. Couple of fakes, get some good picks in there. Great possession, great timeout by Coach Knoll.
Ball knocked away by Crow. Dwight Crow taking it all the way, lays it up. No.
Ishman.
Rebound on the wrist. He's knocked away. Wise inside. Crow again. He is fouled going up, and he'll go to the line shooting 2. And there's a chance there. 3 chances, 2 offensive boards, and a foul.
That's a great offensive rebound by Aaron Ishman. He's bringing energy, and as I stated at the outset, that's what he needs to bring to this team. Aaron Ishman's not going to score an awful lot of points, but if he plays good defense and rebounds and brings you energy like that, he's giving you his worth.
That foul was on Monroe, his first. Sends Crow to the line, and Dwight knocks down the first one.
These are guys I'm very excited about, a lot of these guys. I used to play lunchtime basketball with a lot of these guys, and I watched them grow over the years, particularly Aaron Ishman over the last 4 or 5 years. And great to see him playing good basketball.
Second free throw, no good. Rebound controlled by the Flyers. Stubblefield watched by Spicer. Inside to the big guy. John Jones, 6'10". And IPFW in turn turns it right over.
Probably a little bit of an ill-advised pass right there. Real tough for Gibbs to handle.
Stubblefield kicks it out. Three-pointer on the way. And in by Jamal Vargas. Don's cut it to 3, and all of a sudden it's back up to 8. 28-20. Dons need a spark, I think, right now. Gibbs, turnaround jumper off the glass. No, rebound Stubblefield.
In and out.
Push off. Ball taken away by IPFW. Jones got away with one there. Ball out of bounds, they say last touch by IPFW.
And that's what we talked about at the beginning of the game. Right now, IPFW is having trouble getting shots.
Well, we've got a timeout on the floor. 8 minutes exactly left in the first half. And our score 28-20 in favor of Lewis. Be sure to tune in to College 56 Sundays at noon and Friday evenings at 8 in January when host Melissa Long visits with Tim Biggins, IPFW Alumni Government and University Relations Committee Chair. They're joined by Jennifer Bosk, Director of IPFW Alumni Relations, and talk about their efforts to promote IPFW. That's Sundays at noon and Fridays at 8 p.m. in January for IPFW Up Close right here on College 56. Now you see some young cheerleaders to be, maybe some potential IPFW students doing their best cheer, trying to get these Dons fired up.
Yeah, we're having a look at the crowd right now, and hopefully those young cheerleaders can get this partisan crowd a little fired up and get these Mastodons going.
We need a spark, whether it's a three-point shot or whether maybe it's an alley-oop, which they did try once and were unsuccessful, or maybe just a plain good steal and a layup, something to get this crowd into the ballgame. You need that sixth player on the floor in the form of the fans.
You're exactly right, Mike, and it most likely is going to come from your energy guys. So we're talking about Aaron Ishman, Jabenji Gibbs, and Michael Ikani when he's in the basketball game. Those are the types of guys that are going to give you those alley-oops and those dunks and those big plays.
Now back to action. Everett Stubblefield brings it up. And Lewis trying to work it inside to Jones if possible. Turnaround shot. No! Rebound Crow. And that was a good defense right there when you keep that 6'10" John Jones off the board.
And he's pretty much like Meshberger. When he throws that hook up, there's not much anybody's going to be able to do about it.
Wise, watched by Jones. Ishman in the paint, kicks it out to Spicer. Shot by Wise, off the rim, no good. Rebound, Stubblefield. Long pass to Jones. Back out for three-point shot. No good by Vargas, but Lewis controls the glass.
Right now, the Lewis players are just a little bit of a half step ahead of IPFW.
Taking the ball to the hole is Harley Piercy. And he is whacked and hacked, and he will head to the stripe, shooting two. Foul is on Ishman, his second.
That's one of the toughest plays, certainly to call at any level of basketball. Was it a charge or was it a block? And this time it just happened not to go IPFW's way.
Harley Piercy at the line so far this year, 0 of 2. And we gave him the reverse jinx because he knocked the first one down.
And he just jumped up 33 percentage points with that one shot.
Okay, substitutions. Warner back in for Jones for Lewis.
And you do have your
Akani
energy
back in.
guys in there. You have Benji Gibbs and Michael Akani. These are the types of guys, and I think that's what Coach No has in mind. It's quicker guys, some more athletic guys out there because you got to get going. You don't want this game, which it is right now, being in danger of getting out of hand at 10 points right now.
30-20, under 7 minutes to go and a half. Dons trailing, but they do have the basketball. Nice feed to Steve Griffin. Shakes, bakes, misses. No foul called. Kicks it out, inside move, shot up, no good by Monroe, but Lewis controls the boards.
Good tap out by Warner. Warner's a pretty good-looking basketball player.
And one gets the feeling that Doug Noel is extremely close to a technical foul. Warner goes up, ball knocked out of bounds.
And it could be one of those things. Sometimes if the coach doesn't see the player trying to get the team fired up, he may try and do so by getting that technical foul.
Flyers with the ball. Warner at the high post. It's 5 on the shot clock. Baseline drive, kicks out, shot up, no good at the buzzer by Wilson. Dons with the ball. A chance to get the lead to single digits. Akani, watched by Monroe. You can see Lewis starting to extend their defense. Gibbs, shot blocked. And controlled by Lewis.
That time Benji got in the air, and with his athletic ability, he stayed up there so long, gave the Lewis player time to catch up with him and block that shot.
Flyers swing the ball around the opposite side. Wilson stops, pops, no good. Monroe with the offensive board. He misses. Stubblefield has a chance. He misses. Wilson on the fourth try finally knocks it down.
They're just out working the Dons right now, cleaning up on the glass, and the Dons, have to show some pride right now.
Griffin stops, pops, no, off the iron. We're going to whistle and a foul underneath. Foul's going to be called on Tari Monroe, his second. That's only the fourth team foul. Fourth team foul on Lewis. .444 left until halftime. Mastodons will inbound a basketball.
And a very important 4:44. The Dons have to work on getting this lead under double digits.
Wise finally breaks the drought. Nick Wise with the second field goal. Makes it 32-22.
They're not going to get 12 points back in one big bunch, so work on a 4-point run here.
Good play by Vargas. Knocked the ball off of Griffin's hand. And we've got another timeout on the floor. 4:21 left in the half. Our score, Lewis 32, IPFW 22. You are watching IPFW basketball on College 56 Sports. Welcome back to the Gate Sports Center. 4:21 left in the first half. Lewis on top of IPFW, 32-22. Flyers with the basketball. Running motion offense. Nice feed inside to Warner, but he's double teamed. 4 on the shot clock. Vargas from the foul line. Yes. Jamal Vargas, second field goal, 5 points. Akani comes back for the Dons with his first field goal. And again, it's a 10-point lead, 34-24. Inside pass to the big man, John Jones, has a half a dozen. And Charlie, I don't know how you can stop a guy who's 6'10" unless you match Meshberger up with him and hope he doesn't get into foul trouble.
That's just about, it. He does a great job of keeping the ball up in the air.
Akani has his shot blocked amongst the trees. Here come the Flyers. Three-pointer, no good by Vargas, but Jones misses the first, misses the second, misses the third. Loose ball, who's got it? They say last touch by Jones.
And with being 6'10", first of all, the long arms and the reach advantage that he has, and in that case, it was Michael Akani, a 6'5" swing man. There wasn't much you can do, but Akani, to his credit, was in there fighting.
So here come the Dons. Under 3 minutes to go and a half. Wise kicks it out. Griffin for three. No. Rebound Wise. Shot up. No. Tap up. No good. Warner with the board.
The Dons are fighting. They're not getting much help from the Zebras tonight. A couple of times I think they've been fouled and haven't got the benefit of the call.
Flyers working the ball on the perimeter. Badambuzi watched by Spicer. 12 on the shot clock. Nice play defensively by Akani. Lead pass for Griffin. 1-on-3. Shot up, no good, but Griffin is fouled. Doug Knoll saying, hey, how about intentional foul?
And I see it as Coach Knoll sees it as well. Anytime a player is out in front of you and you grab him down around the waist, as it appeared Steve Griffin was grabbed, you almost have to call that an intentional.
Well, the break isn't going the Dons' way, and they say it was not. So Griffin has two, rims the first one out. Meshberger back in along with Brad Knoll and Dwight Crow. Spicer, Gibbs, and Akani head to the bench.
And you made a very good point. The two 6'10" guys, they probably need to be on the court at the same time. It's probably something I think about doing.
Griffin makes the second one. 5 points for Steve. Makes it an 11-point ball game. 36-25, but 2:10 to go and a half. Badambuzi on the wing. Inside for Jones, double teamed. Ball knocked away, picked up by Wise. Dons on the run, 4-on-2. Knoll, Griffin for three, no! Rebound Crow. Kicks it back out, Wise for three, yes! Big rebound and big bucket.
And a lot of that was caused by the 6'10" player couldn't easily see over our 6'10" guy, Meshberger, and thus made a turnover.
36-28. Three-point shot by Jones. Oh, couldn't control the boards, and Warner has a gimme. Unfortunate break there for IPFW. Wise, foul line extended, no good. Rebound Warner. Verotsko misses, tap up and in though by Jones.
Jones runs the court very well for a big fella.
Wise inside to Meshberger. Kicks it out to Griffin for three. No. Warner controls the board. Jones misses, rebound Griffin. Brad Knoll for three, no. Meshberger with the board, reverse, kicks it out and loses it. Lewis wants to run, and they're going to say offensive foul.
Great job that
on
time.
Badambuzi.
Great job that time by Noel, getting back and getting position and then bracing himself before he took the major contact.
Dons get the basketball back with 30 seconds to go and a half. Stubblefield in for Badambuzi. Brendan Callahan makes his first appearance for Lewis. And Akani comes in for Meshberger.
The Dons were in pretty good shape a moment ago, but the missed rebound and the easy put back for Lewis. And then we've missed some good looks at some three-pointers, but we need to get under 10.
Or at least 10 if they run the shot clock down, because the shot clock's off. 16 seconds left. Akani up top.
A great mental lift if you can get this under double figures.
Griffin, 6 seconds, fires, no. Rebound, Stubblefield, half court, lets it fly, no. So we've come to the end of our first half of play. And it's been a frustrating one for the Dons. They had an early 7-1 lead, but as they head to the locker room, they trail 40-28.
And as we've stated, they've kind of shot themselves in the foot. They've had quite a few turnovers, and they've had some good looks and have not cashed in on those looks. Not out of the game, but we'd love to have seen this lead under 10 because it's a big mental uplift if you can go into halftime from a large lead and get it under 10.
Well, we're going to take a little break, and then we'll be back with second half action. But again, our halftime score here at the Hilliard Sports Center, Lewis University 40, IPFW 28. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 56 Sports.
I'm Walter Bowman, Director of Athletics at IPFW. Thank you for joining us this evening and allowing me 60 seconds of your time. Since August of this academic year, you have both read and heard of our drive for Division I status. The Executive Board of the Royal Dons Athletic Association, our associates in Business 100, and hundreds of constituents like yourself have all joined together with a single purpose, Division I athletics for you and the Fort Wayne community. At present, we are exploring many possibilities for potential conference affiliation, along with expanding the base programs offered. Recently, the faculty approved the addition of men and women's indoor and outdoor track, bringing our offerings to 16 varsity programs. I believe that when we are an NCAA Division I program, each of you watching this television program tonight will have an opportunity to view firsthand the Hoosiers, Boilermakers, and the Fighting Irish here in Fort Wayne and at the Coliseum and at the university. In order to move our vision from the dream stage to reality, we need to continue to attract strong alumni and community support. Fort Wayne, the second largest city in the state, is deserving of a Division I program which reflects the community's greatness. Together, you and I are positioned to form an alliance which will give the citizens of Northeast Indiana even more reason to show our Hoosier pride. The number on the screen will provide you the opportunity to become involved in Mastodon excitement. Pick up your phone and call me so we can discuss your involvement.
Frank Palladino has been a professor of biology at IPFW since 1982. He studies the endangered leatherback sea turtle and allows the opportunity for his students to travel with him.
We have a number of undergraduates as well as master's level graduate students who've come with me over the last 10 years to Costa Rica. It's an opportunity that isn't generally available at most institutions.
He makes sure his students in the classroom realize and never forget the enjoyable nature of science.
Science is not only fascinating, it's fun. I think we lose track of that when we're in school, that science is fun, we learn a lot, and can do a lot.
Palladino has a full awareness of the importance of the fieldwork that his students experience with him and how it contributes to their education.
It's an invaluable experience, one which they can then use whatever job they go on to do. And professionally, it really completes their education as a biologist.
This has been an IPFW Faculty Minute. The right school, right here, right now.
Remember the first time you got on one of those exciting rides at the amusement park? Someone locked you safely into place, pulled a lever, and the ride took over. It took your breath away. And when the ride stopped, you were really surprised at how fast your adventure ended. And maybe, just maybe, you would ride it again. You had the courage to take that step and try something new. Others have taken that step, and because of their courage, you were able to enjoy that ride. Those people designed and built almost everything you see here. The people that built all this are engineers. And now you are going to find out about their dreams, their designs, and their jobs. Have you ever thought about becoming an engineer? Do you know what they do every day at work, or what they had to study in school to become engineers? The engineers you will meet today will tell you about the kinds of things they design and build to make our lives safer, easier, and more fun. And they will tell you about themselves and the enjoyable lives they have because they had the courage and persistence to follow their dream to become engineers. You will meet students who, just like you, are planning for their future. Planning now for the kind of life they want in the years ahead. Planning to be an engineer could be the way to start building the life you've always dreamed of. Right now is the time to test the waters. All you need is a plan, some courage, and some real determination to take that ride.
I'm a civil engineer. Civil engineers design many things that make your life easier. It's civil engineers that design ways to carry water to your home. When it rains, sewers designed by civil engineers carry the water and waste safely to a treatment plant and then onto lakes or rivers. Without engineers, there would be no cities. We help design and build the tall buildings where people live and work. There are many other kinds of engineers. Electrical engineers design and build computers, stereos, and electrical systems that provide the power to run almost everything. Chemical engineers design the plants that produce such things as gasoline, cosmetics, medicines, plastics, and tires. Mechanical engineers design the factories that build automobile engines that run our cars and air conditioning systems. They also design and build all types of machines. All of these different engineers start with an idea, create a plan, and then turn their idea into reality. And a career in engineering, that takes planning too. It's tough work, requires persistence, but the payoff is worth it.
I think I want to be an engineer. I'm already starting to look at the classes in high school I'll have to complete so that I can get into a good engineering school. Engineers need to study science and math and English and history. It's like the big ride at the amusement park. I wasn't sure that it was for me. Just like I thought science and math would be too tough. But now that I'm into it, these courses are really exciting. You just break down science into things you already understand, like biology. It's just learning about living things, like plants and animals. Physics is a study of what happens when energy and water mix together in our world, like light and sound, baseballs and bats. Chemistry teaches us about materials and how they are changed to make products we can use, like water. If you heat it, it changes into steam. Did you know that it was an engineer that learned how to capture steam and make it move a train? My friends still tell me that I'm crazy to study this stuff, but when my counselor showed me that engineering is where the jobs are, I decided that studying is worth it, and I'm going to stick with it.
This is a sample of the jobs that will be available in the 1990s, which is about the time that you graduate if you go to college. In 1995, our country will need about 8,000 athletes, and about 100,000 jobs will be available for musicians. We'll need about twice as many doctors and lawyers. More than 500,000 receptionists will be answering phones, and more than 500,000 teachers' aides will be in the classrooms. But look at how many jobs will be available for engineers. Our country will need almost 2 million engineers in 1995. All of these careers require a lot of hard work and preparation, but if you choose a job in one of the many fields of engineering, there's a good chance there will be a good-paying job for you when you graduate. And the time you get started will make a real difference in how far you go. You need to get started right now.
When I first started taking math courses, I hated it. I used to say, what difference does this stuff make to anybody anyway? But it's funny how the more you learn about something, the more you like it. Now I realize that everybody uses math in their life every day, and sometimes they don't even realize it. Look at this Ferris wheel. It has definite shapes. That's all stuff that geometry teaches you about. And if you think no one ever uses trigonometry, you're wrong. Navigators on ships use trigonometry to move across the ocean. That's why I'm taking math. I know that I will need 4 years of math in high school if I want to become an engineer or work in science. Sometimes the future seems a long way away, but I just take it one class at a time and remember my plan.
I like working with plans. That's one reason I became an engineer. It's a career that lets me create new things, and my designs make a difference in the way that people live. Sometimes we use our training to go into other fields, like medicine, business, and education. And that's another reason that I became an engineer. I knew I'd have interesting projects and a chance for advancement. It pays pretty good, too. Starting salaries for engineers are higher than almost any other profession. You'll have to work hard to prepare for a job in engineering, but it's worth it. And besides, those jobs that require less education can be just as hard. And being unemployed, that's the hardest job of all. What do I have to show for it? I feel like I've really done something important with my life. The community respects my profession, and I can afford the kind of life my family deserves.
The rest of your life is just ahead. What kind of life will it be? It all depends on the choices you make during the next few years. Engineering is one rewarding choice for you to consider carefully. Becoming an engineer will pay off in rewards like a good job, chances to move up the career ladder, a chance to try new things, and enough money to enjoy the world you helped to build. For some of us, those are very big dreams, but you can make them come true. Take a chance on yourself and have the courage to dream a new dream. Test yourself, and don't let anybody say that you can't do better and be better. You can, and there are people out there who will help you. Remember the exciting ride at the amusement park? There was someone there to make it a fun, safe ride, someone to guide you. At school, teachers and counselors know how to help you design a plan of action that will help turn your dreams into reality. But there are some things you must do for yourself, like sitting down to study and working hard to make good grades. But remember the rewards, whether it's engineering or some other exciting career. Design your dream and then work hard to make it come true. You can do it, and you'll be surprised at how much you will enjoy the adventure.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center, everybody. Mike Maas and Charlie Washington, we are here with you. It's halftime, and the IPFW Mastodons find themselves on the short end of a 40-28 score. And Charlie, when we take a look at the first half numbers, it's not hard to see why the Dons are down. Team numbers on the first half: Lewis 17 of 37 from the floor for 46%. 1 of 9 from three-point range. That's a plus for the Dons. 5 of 6 from the free throw line. IPFW 11 of 33. That's just 33% from the floor. 4 of 14 from three-point range for 29%, and only 2 of 6 from the free throw line for 33%. You cannot win a basketball game shooting 33% from both the floor and the stripe.
Only the thing, that combination, you got a big mix there. You can win a game shooting 33%, but then when you look at the rebounds are
26 to 18.
26 to 18. You can't win with that. You can win shooting a lower percentage, but you got to get some offensive rebounds, and then you can't have that many turnovers as well. So you can, but the Dons, the big thing they have to come with, the first thing is energy. Right at the outset, they have to come with energy, and Steve Griffin has to score for you. He's a scorer on this basketball team. He's a leader on this team, and he was 2 for 9 in the first half. Their big scorer, Monroe, only had 3 points.
Yeah.
Averaging 19, only had 3. So the big thing for the Dons, first off, is energy, and then we have to get on the boards and the big plays that we talked about. We got to hit some three-point shots. We have to get some easy shots, and those easy shots would help us if they're crowd-energizing easy shots, like some dunk shots there.
Only one player in double figures so far, that Jeremy Warner of Lewis with 14. 6 points for their big man, 6'10", John Jones. 5 points from Jamal Vargas. 4 points from Josh Verratsko. 3 points from Tari Monroe. 2 points apiece from Jonah Batambuzi, Jeremy Wilson, Everett Stubblefield, and Harley Piercy. For the Dons, their leading scorer, Nick Wise, with 8. 5 points from Steve Griffin. 3 points apiece from Dwight Corral, Brad Knoll, and Benji Gibbs. 2 points apiece from Dave Meshberger, Michael Wakani, and Aaron Ishman. The Dons had the basketball to start the second half. Weiss, Spicer, Ishman, Gibbs, and Griffin, the original starting 5. Let's see what happens. Got a whistle. Reach-in foul going to be called on Lewis. Foul's going to be on Josh Verratsko, his first, team first.
Very important possession here.
Spicer on the wing, kicks it out to Griffin. Lewis staying with that man-to-man defense. Lob pass taken away by Warner. Pass intended for Ishman.
Randy Spicer has to be a threat out on the basketball floor. Took no shots in the first half. Randy's not going to score a lot of points, but he has to score some.
Monroe goes to the hole, and he's hammered by Ishman. Tari heads to the stripe. Foul on Aaron Ishman is his third, first of the half.
Right now, they're not respecting the offensive capabilities of Randy Spicer on the defensive end. And Randy does have some offensive capabilities, but right now he's not utilizing those. And the Lewis players aren't respecting him, and thusly they're sagging back into the lane, and we can't get anything going inside.
First free throw by Monroe is good, as is the second. Makes the score 42-28. Dave Meshberger in the lineup for Ishman. And here comes Randy Spicer with a basketball. Baseline drive by Wise. Stops, pops, doesn't get the roll. Rebound to Lewis. Wilson kicks it out for 3. Verratsko.
And that's what you don't want to see. That's what you did not want to see. The Dons have to find some way to get going, and that's not the way to do it, to come out and get a 5-0 run the opposite way.
Ball taken away by Wilson. And the turnover plague continues for IPFW. Inside pass for Warner. Shot up no good, but foul is going to be called on Meshberger. And Jeremy Warner will go to the line shooting 2. Foul number 1 on Dave Meshberger.
Right now, the offensive pattern that Lewis has been running is kind of picking the Dons apart. Wouldn't be surprised if we see a little zone before this game ends and see a little active zone to see what they do against the zone.
Warner, as we said, only with a 50% free throw shooting average coming in, misses the first. Second one is good. Makes it 46-28. I believe that's the largest lead of the afternoon.
It's been creeping up. Every basket that Lewis gets is turning out to be the largest lead of the game because we haven't scored yet.
Griffin for three, finally. Steve Griffin breaks the ice as we near the 18-minute mark. 46-31. Wilson, baseline drive, cut off by Nick Wise. Adam Boosley nearly lost the ball. Ball knocked away, picked up by Wise. Bounced off of Meshberger's leg. And here comes Randy Spicer. Wise for three. No! Rebound fought for, picked off by Verasco.
That possession, a score in that possession could have pumped some life back into the Dons. Right now, we just have to work on a defensive end, and a tough thing, as we stated at the outset of the game, this is a veteran Lewis team, so they are going to make a lot of mistakes to get you back in the game.
Verasco misses. Monroe gets the board, partially blocked by Meshberger, but he gets the offensive board again, misses again. Gibbs all the way, misses the shot. Ball goes out of bounds. They say the last touch by Lewis. It'll be IPFW basketball.
That's a good try by Gibbs. You'd love to see him finish it, and not a bad play at this juncture of the game. Somebody, has to pump a little energy in there, and not a bad move.
Spicer looking for Griffin. And we've got a foul. Foul is on Warner. That's his first. Team second. Steve Griffin, Spicer will inbound it. Meshberger shot up and in. Second field goal for Dave Meshberger makes it 46-33. Monroe for three, off the iron, no good. Warner with the tap, no good. Wise with the board.
That could have and should have been a foul. Meshberger had great position.
Wise for three, yes. That may be a spark.
And Lewis, being a veteran team, certainly recognizes that, and the coach also calls a timeout. But that's exactly what the Dons need, and to get a little bit more energy going. They've hit 2 shots in a row, and again, right down to 10 points. Not out of this basketball game.
And a long way. It's a 30-second timeout, by the way, called by Lewis. 16:08. There is time. They don't need to panic, and like you said, you cannot have a 12-point play or a 10-point play or a 15-point play in one possession. Let's just, take it one possession at a time.
They're sticking around up one possession at a time and keep it. You're at 10 right now. You get a defensive stop right now, get a bucket. You're right down to 8, and you can stay close. And if you stay close with that 3-point arc out there, you can stay in any basketball game.
Flyers ready to put the ball into play. Tari Monroe to inbound it. Spicer offering token pressure on Batambuzi. Now a little trap. Flyers recognize it, however.
But it is something to change the tempo of the game. Like I mentioned, maybe look at a zone, some type of a zone trap or zone press.
Warner misses the first, misses the second. Meshberger with the board. Gibbs, no. Meshberger fights for the rebound, and he's hammered from behind.
The Dons not getting many breaks at all on the offensive end. They're getting hit and pushed. But again, Lewis being a veteran team, those types of teams know when and where and how to get the little pushes in.
Foul was on Warner, his second. Carrasco and Benambuzi check out for Lewis. Inside dish to Meshberger, shot no good.
And he may have been fouled. I think I heard a smack over here. But still, regardless whether you get smacked or not, Meshberger at 6'10", you got to hammer that.
Vargas with the basketball. Vargas, long shot, off the back of the rim, no good. Rebound, Griffin.
Again, the Dons still in this basketball game with a chance to cut it under double figures.
Nice move, double pump by Steve Griffin. And it is an 8-point game, 46-38, 14-48 to go.
And if Steve Griffin could get going, Mike, he scores in bunches.
They could use about 20 in a row right now from him. Flyers on the perimeter. Stubblefield for three. Oh, a dagger in the heart. Stubblefield now with 5. It's one way to kill a run. Meshberger kicks it out. Wise for 3. No. Rebound fought for and controlled by Warner. Wilson kicks it out. Stubblefield drives. Kicks it off to Monroe. Shot blocked by Meshberger. Monroe with the board. Shot up, missed again. Tap no good. Rebound controlled by Griffin. The ball's loose. Goes out of bounds, and they will say it's going to go Lewis.
He's getting help, I think.
Yep, it's been reversed.
That's a great job of refereeing that time by the guys in stripes there. Benji Gibbs tried to get a hand on the ball, but actually missed it, and the ball went out of bounds.
We've got a timeout in the floor, 13:49 left. You're watching IPFW basketball on College 56 Sports.
I wanted to study engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list, too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Welcome back to the Hilliard Gates Sports Center on the campus of IPFW. Mike Moss and Charlie Washington happy to bring you this ball game between the IPFW Mastodons and the Lewis Flyers. And Charlie, things looked bleak when the Dons were down 18. They cut it to 10. Right now they're down 11. But as you said earlier, there's plenty of time. 13:49 left. And if the Dons could just make a couple of defensive stops and hit a couple of shots in a row, that magical word momentum.
Exactly right, Mike. And we had a little bit going, and I think they're still riding the basket, a three-point basket by Stubblefield. We actually had cut it down to 8, and then he came back and hit a three-point shot. The Dons have the ball right now, and I've said this a number of times tonight, this is a big possession. You get it back under 10 points and come back and play some good defense and get some energy baskets. We're right there.
IPFW with the basketball. Woodall, ball taken away. Vargas not taking it right back from Knoll. See if they can convert. Griffin for 3, yes! Steve Griffin with a long one.
And now we got to stop this. We got to stop this Lewis team a couple possessions. But again, they're a veteran team, and they're very patient and don't get too rattled.
Lob pass inside from Monroe. Lays it up and in. Count it, and he is fouled.
And that's what a veteran team does. And right now, we really don't have anyone that can match up with. They have Warner and Monroe in the basketball game, and they don't even have their big 6'10" guy in the game. But with the team, with the guys that are out on the floor right now, we really don't have the physical size to match up. That's where positioning comes into play. And that time, Michael Ikani found himself out of position. You can't do that with the guy averaging 19 points in the Great Lakes Valley Conference.
Foul was on Ikani. His second free throw is good. 5 points now in the second half for Monroe. 8 in the ball game, and the ball's taken away. Monroe on the jam. And it's almost like that Griffin three-pointer fired up Lewis rather than IPFW.
And that time you don't get it. Not only do you not get a shot, they get a steal and they get a big dunk shot. And there goes the momentum.
Pushing foul on Stubblefield. As he tried bouncing Woodall around. That's Everett's second.
And certainly no knock against Woodall, and I'm sure he's in the game. He brings a little bit more offensive punch, but Randy Spicer does a great job of running his basketball team. He just has to get a little bit more selfish, if you will. Take some shots.
Crow with the miss. Woodall loses the ball. Wilson takes it to the hole. He's hammered by Griffin, and he will go to the line shooting 2.
As we have a look at Coach Nolan, I guess he was thinking the same thing I was thinking, that Randy Spicer's at the scoring bench. Randy can score points, and he has to give this team some offensive punch to be a totally effective player.
Jeremy Wilson gets the friendly bounce on the rim, makes the free throw. His third point of the afternoon. Spicer in, Woodall out for the Dons. It's 55-41, Lewis on top, 32 to go. Free throw, in and out, no good. Rebound controlled by Ikani. Knoll inside, fires, no good, but Brad is fouled, and he will go to the line. Vargas guilty of the infraction. For Jamal, that's his second foul, team 5th. And Brad Knoll, one of the better free throw shooters on this ball club, 27 of 38, coming in for 71%. Gets a try here. And you know this as well as I do, Charlie, when you can score with the clock stopped, definitely an advantage.
No question about it.
Second free throw good as well. 5 points for Brad Knoll, and it's 55-43. Pressure put on now by the Dons, but it's broken. And they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Spicer.
It looked almost as if Spicer was on the inside of Monroe. But again, with it being Lewis's ball and them being on offense, goes against a defensive player.
Flyers will inbound it. There's only the 5th team foul in IPFW. Inside pass to Warner, double teamed. Kicks it out to Wilson. Back to Warner, shot no good, but look who's there, Tari Monroe.
He only had 3 at halftime, but somebody woke him up.
Ikani on a nice move.
Great athletic move by Ikani.
Dons want to get into a track meet, I do think. We got a whistle. Violation, palming the ball on Lewis. Advantage Dons as Ishman checks back into the IPFW lineup.
And Mike, you mentioned to get back into this basketball game, the Dons almost have to turn it into a track meet because they have to have possessions and shots. And the only way right now to do that is going to speed this tempo up and get some easy shots, some quick shots.
Crow up top, looking for a pick or a screen, perhaps. Ikani inside, has a shot blocked. Lead outlet pass to Vargas. Left-hand layup is good.
And right then on the Dons' rotation on offense, they got caught without a protector back on defense, and thusly Lewis got in a very easy basket.
Knoll for 3. In and out, no good. Ikani tap, no good. Ishman shot up, no good, but he is fouled, and Aaron will go to the line for 2.
That was a great tap by Connie to keep the ball alive, and then Ishman came in and got the rebound. Right now, Coach No desperately looking for the combination. He has to have good defensive players out there to stop Lewis, and then he has to have good energy offensive players and three-point shooters out there. And where do you find that combination in just 5 players?
Foul is on Monroe, his third, as Ishman misses the first free throw. Well, there's that man, John Jones, in the lineup for Lewis, along with Harley Piercy. Second free throw, good by Ishman. Aaron now with 3 points. Again, the Dons going to try to put a little trap, a little pressure on. Lewis breaks it. With 11 minutes to go, you get the feeling that the perimeter players are going to hang on to the ball more often for Lewis. Jones misses. Loose ball. Shot up and missed by Stubblefield, but he got the gimme shot, missed it, and he's going to get 2 free throws.
That's at least the second time that's happened where it looked like we clearly had the rebound, and then somehow, and that time it was just a great defensive play by Stubblefield to get a hand on the ball. The last time that happened, I think in the first half, we just lost the basketball. But that's what a veteran team does, and right now Lewis is a benefactor of veteran players and getting those veteran plays.
First free throw up and in by Stubblefield. Going for point number 7 on the afternoon. And makes it. Makes it 61-46, 10:48 to go. Knoll for 3. Yes. Brad Knoll gets his second tray of the day. Don's trying to trap. Vargas on the wing. Stubblefield passes inside. Shot up by Jones. Missed. Rebound. Ishman.
I tell you, Mike,
Spicer, yes.
It's not lack of effort. The Dons are giving it all they've got, but this is a good veteran Lewis team.
Ishman takes it to the hole, misses, but he's hammered, and Aaron will go back to the line. Foul is on Jones, his first, team 7th, and that will pay dividends with 9:59 to go because every free foul the rest of the way is going to be at least 1 and 1, if not 2.
And as you stated earlier, anytime you can put some points on the board with that ticker standing still, that's a great advantage for your team.
Monroe back in for Jones. Wasn't a long rest for Tari Monroe. And Nick Wise checks to the scorer's table. He will check in as well for Michael Akani. Well, if Ishman makes the free throw here, you got 10 minutes of basketball left, minus a second, and it's a 10-point game. Gut it out and see what happens. And timeout is called as the free throw is good. Doesn't make the score. 61-51.
Extremely important point in the basketball game.
I'm sorry, Bernie, didn't hear you. Okay. Tune in to College 56 tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. to see Secretary of Defense William S. Cohen give a presentation on national security. Secretary Cohen visited IPFW at the invitation of Senator Richard Lugar and will speak to the points of the non-Lugar Cooperative Threat Reduction Program as well as other national security issues. That's tomorrow evening at 7 p.m. right here on College 56. Charlie Washington, you got a half a basketball left. You're only down 4 possessions, realistically. 4 stops. Can the Dons do it?
Certainly they can. I may take a gamble right here. I keep Randy Spicer in the game. I need him to run my floor on offense. I put my two runners out there, my slashers and my athletic players, namely Benji Gibbs, Michael Ikani. I put my big bruiser in there. I keep Ishman in there, and you got to have Griffin in there. You got to have the scoring.
Steve had 26 points, as we said, Thursday night against Wisconsin Parkside. I have him unofficially for 13 points here this afternoon. he's just got to get free. Of course, he's on the bench right now. He's got Wise and Ishman and Spicer and Dwight Crow and Brad Noe on the floor for the Dons.
And he's opted for some outside shooting, which will also get you right back into a basketball game.
Dons again with that trapping full court pressure. But the Flyers, with the veteran team they are, get it over midcourt. Inside pass. Monroe kicks it way out. Nice save by Vargas. Stubblefield says, let's run play number 1, whatever that may be. Ball knocked away, picked up by Vargas. 5 on the shot clock. Stubblefield may not know it. Tries the 3. Oh, the dagger again. Stubblefield. Second tray of the second half.
He stuck 2 of them in it.
Double foul going to be called on Ishman and Warner. Third foul on Warner. Fourth foul on Ishman. Double foul situation. It results in a alternate possession. Gibbs and Griffin back in the lineup. Kroll and Spicer leave. It'll be IPFW. Is it IPFW ball?
Yes. Yes, it was a double foul, so we won't change possessions.
Noel faked the 3, lobs it inside. Ishman, nice athletic move to catch it. Takes it up, is hammered by Stubblefield. And Ishman will go back to the stripe. Third foul on Everett Stubblefield. And Ish, who just made 2 free throws a moment ago, and in fact he's made his last 3, not to jinx him, gets 2 more cracks. See Warner talking to one of the officials saying, hey sir, I didn't do anything. And there's a good look at Jim Whitesell, the Lewis coach, 8th year at the helm. Maybe I better shut up, Charlie.
Yeah.
The jinx works in reverse. Free throw is missed. Warner is out. Jones back in. Eschberger will check in a moment as Ishman knocks down the second. 6 points now for Aaron Ishman. 64-52 our score. Lewis on top, 9-10 left here in the second half.
And Coach Noel doing what we suggested. Whenever Jones is in there, you put Meschberger in there.
Another palming turnover on the Flyers. Stubblefield the guilty party. And a break for the Dons. Adambuzi back in, replacing Stubblefield for Lewis. Nolte inbound. Flyers step up the pressure. Griffin loses it. Gets it back, kicks it off to Gibbs. Spin move, shot up, yes.
Great athletic move.
It's a 10-point game, 64-54, 8:48 to go. Don's not giving up.
They played hard all night, and they really have to put it on the line now.
Monroe underneath the Jones. Left-handed shot is good. Not much you can do there. It just seems like when the Dons try to make a run, Lewis answers. Gibbs wanting the basketball. Jostling between Gibbs and Vargas. They're going to call a foul on Vargas. For Jamal, that is his third. And it will send Gibbs to the line. It's always interesting, Charlie, since you get the chance to look away from the ball and you see the battle within the battle. And in this case, between Gibbs and Vargas.
Yeah, usually you see that battle with bigger guys. With these guys, you know, about 6'2", and the other guy about 5'10", maybe 6 foot, going at it on the block.
First free throw is good. Again, with 8:22 to go, IPFW the rest of the way is in double bonus. Every foul, unless it's an offensive possession foul, 2 free throws. Let's see what they can do with
Basically, that means take it to the basket.
Second free throw good. Again, a 10-point lead for Lewis. Adambuzi watched by Griffin. Watch for the backdoor cut. Steal by Gibbs. 2-on-1, lob pass, Gibbs lays it up and in. Nice feed from Griffin. The lead is 8 and timeout is called. Nice play between Griffin and Gibbs.
And again, that's what Benji Gibbs gives you. He gives you that energy and defense.
30-second timeout. The College Cable Access Monthly Program Guide provides information about our programming, including live coverage of IPFW sports. To receive your free College 56 program guide, send your name, address, and zip code to College 56 at IPFW, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805, or call us at 481-6000, or email us at cable56@ipfw.edu. 8 minutes exactly, Charlie. 66-58. The Dons like to see just the single-digit deficit.
As we see the replay of the Benji Gibbs alley-oop there, Lewis very, very calmly calls a timeout. Every time IPFW gets based, anytime they score 4 points in a row and get it under 10, the Lewis coach calls a timeout. Very savvy move.
Griffin watching Badham Boozy. Jones way up top. 10 on the shot clock. Badham Boozy looking for Jones. Can't find him. Kicks it out to Vargas for 3. Off the iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. Controlled by the long arms of John Jones. Fresh 35 for the Flyers.
Nick Wise just could not contend with those 6'10" arms.
Flyers move the ball around on the perimeter. Inside pass, Monroe. Shot off the glass, no. Rebound, Griffin.
Great help by Meshberger. Great help.
Wise kicks it off to Knoll. Don's going to try to cut into an 8-point deficit. Knoll gets in the lane, kicks it off. Meshberger from the foul line, yes! Meshberger, though he's 6'10", knocked it down from 15 feet, and it's 66-60.
And how was that? Knoll passing outside to the 6'10" Meshberger from inside.
6.5 minutes to go. Vargas hits the jumper. Boy, big bucket for the Flyers. Jamal Vargas, 68-60. Knoll, baseline shot, no good. Ball goes out of bounds. They say last touch by Lewis. It'll be Don basketball.
And the Dons catch a break that time. Not sure if you want Brad Knoll hanging out down there on the block there.
26 on the shot clock. Dons inbound it. Almost imperative. 3-point shot by Knoll. Off the iron, no. Rebound Vargas. Dons needed to score that possession. Warner, who's back in the lineup, kicks it off to Wilson. Wilson, baseline drive. Shot, no. Offensive glass. Jones, Monroe rather. He puts it up and he is fouled. And Tari Monroe heads to the stripe. Foul is on Meshberger. Dave's second.
Again, Monroe very quiet in the first half, but he's been kind of loud here in the second half.
Monroe, a 74% foul shooter. Gets the friendly roll. $13 points now for Tari Monroe.
Dons bring Randy Spicer back in. I wish times we can combine Spicer and Knoll into one player, give Spicer a little bit of Knoll's aggressiveness and give Knoll a little bit of Spicer's patience on offense and make them one player. But Randy's going to have to score.
Second free throw is good as well. 70-60. Gibbs stops, pops, and hits. Benji Gibbs. 8 points here in the second half, 11 overall. And it's 70-62. Flyers trying to spread it out a little bit. Vargas fakes the three.
And Gibbs on Monroe, that's a tough matchup for him. But Benji's in there fighting, giving it the best he has.
10 on the shot clock. Wilson up top. Benambuzzi inside for Warner. Whistle. They're going to call a foul on the Dons with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Benji Gibbs, as you said, he's got a tough job. It's his first foul, team 9th. So Warner's only at the stripe for 1 and 1.
The Dons also caught a break, too. That very easily could have been a foul on Aaron Ishman. And if I'm not mistaken, I think he has 4.
That's correct. Warner makes the first. Warner, a 66% free throw shooter coming in.
He's well above his average. Came in averaging 11, and he's certainly at about 16 or 17 now.
Second one, no good. Ishman with the rebound, kicks it out to Spicer. Don's down by 9, would love to make a tray. Griffin, yes! Steve Griffin, his 3rd tray of the half, and it's a 6-point contest. 4:42 to go. Vargas watched by Griffin. Ishman tried for the steal and missed. Inside, Monroe, shot up, and they're going to call foul, I believe, on the Dons.
And that will be Ishman.
No, yes, it is. Aaron's 5th, unfortunately, comes at the 4:28 mark. So Aaron Ishman fouls out with 6 points on the afternoon. And taking a quick look at the scorebook, Charlie, unofficially, this second half for the Flyers. 10 of 13 at the stripe. So Ishman gets a nice hand as he checks out.
Ish played hard tonight. He gave you what he has to give you, some energy, some defense, and some rebounding. Coach Noll's dilemma was the substitution. Do you go with the taller defensive threat in Meshberger, or do you go with the more athletic offensive threat in Michael Akani?
Second free throw, no good. Loose ball. Knocked out of bounds. They say last touch by Warner. It'll be IPFW basketball. And we've got a timeout. 4:27 to go. Tune in to College 56 Sunday evening, January 16th at 7 p.m. for the replay of today's men's basketball game with Lewis. That's Sunday evening, the 16th, a week from tomorrow, at 7 o'clock right here on College 56. Charlie, I'm amazed. We know that IPFW is a young team, only 3 players with experience from a year ago with a new coach in Doug Knoll. They come in here with a record of 6-4, 3-1 in the conference, going up against a veteran team in Lewis. You're down by as many as 18, and here we are, 4:27 to go, and it's 72-65. Kudos to the coaching staff for keeping this team focused and in the ballgame.
It says a lot about the program, as you just stated, as a whole. Down by that many points, but to keep fighting and to only be down 7. They've not played overly well tonight, but they've hung in there and kept fighting and to find themselves with a chance to win this basketball game down 7 is a great tribute to the whole program.
If you're Lewis and your coach Jim Weitzel, and you've got the veteran team, you've got the size factor, you've got a Monroe, you could put a Jones in there, and the savviness of a Benambuzzi, what do you do?
I hope they don't hear me, but they run some clock and get the ball inside to Monroe. That's what you do if you're Lewis, and I hope they don't hear me. If you're IPFW, you got to keep scrambling. Send them to the foul line if they get the ball inside, and make sure they don't get the ball up on the glass for a 3-point play opportunity.
Here come the Dons on the attack. Randy Spicer up over the timeline. Spicer watched closely by Benambuzzi. He takes it inside, can't find anybody, kicks it out to Wise. Spin move, shot up, no. Whistle, foul, and Wise goes to the line for two. They're going to call the foul on Monroe, and for Tari Monroe, that is his fourth personal. With 4:07 to go. Nick Wise at the stripe for two. Both teams in the double bonus right now. First one is good.
It is almost amazing, Mike, how if Wise hits his free throw, the Dons are down 3 points and haven't played an overly great basketball game.
Down 5 points,
Excuse me, yes, 5 points.
72-67. Second one is good. 4 minutes to go. IPFW giving Lewis University all they can handle. Warner up top. Kicks it off. Batambuzi from long range. No. Fight for the rebound and tapped in.
By Vargas, I believe.
Yep. I'm going to credit the bucket to Vargas. He had Vargas and Warner, but I thought Vargas touched it last, but a big bucket again. And time after time, Lewis has answered an IPFW charge. Spicer bottled up. Gibbs, spin move, shot up off the glass and in. Boy, you love the athleticism of Benji Gibbs.
And you can't teach that at all.
74-69, 3:18 to go. They might have heard you a little bit, Charlie. The air's getting taken out of the ball. Wilson, in and out, no good. Tap, no good. Controlled by Griffin. Don's on the run. Wise, and he's hammered. No call. Yes, they did call it.
They called it on the floor. They called that on the floor.
Third foul on Batambuzi. Wise will go to the line for two.
And I see two substitutions at the table for the Dons, and I'm thinking Coach Noel's going to go with total offense and reckless abandonship here. I think Noel might replace Spicer and Akani for Meshberger.
Oh, first free throw, no good. Yeah, we're not supposed to be homers, but that first free throw was critical, and Nick unfortunately couldn't hit. Spicer and Meshberger out, as you say. Akani and Brad Noel in. 3 minutes exactly on the clock, and Nick Wise has to make this free throw. And he does. 74-70. Gut check time for the Dons. Ball knocked away. Foul going to be called on Gibbs. They say Benji popped his arm on the hip. And for Benji, that's foul number 2.
And as we stated, that's a tough matchup for him, but he's in there working.
You're almost to the situation with 2:46 to go that you've got to double team the ball and pray that you stop it before it gets inside. Monroe knocks the first one down. Tari Monroe, 6'7", 210-pound senior. Second one good as well. Couple of key free throws for the Flyers. Makes the lead back up to 6, 76-70, a two-possession game. Don's running the wheel. Inside pass, Griffin, shot up, good! Count it, and he's fouled.
We'll take the conventional three-point play here and get back and play some tough defense.
That foul is on Wilson. His first of the afternoon. And what you've got to like, Charlie, is the teamwork, the eyes, the passing, the good pass inside. You found the open man. A good sign for IPFW there.
Great movement.
Free throw missed. Monroe with a key rebound. The lead is 4, 2:20 to go. Dons need a stop here. Warner kicks it back up top. 12 on the shot clock. 8 on the clock. Wilson for three. No, he got it again.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Shot up, no. By Knoll, rebound to Lewis.
He found himself too open, and sometimes that's your detriment when you're too open.
1:32 left. And Badambuzi is fouled by Steve Griffin. And for Jonah Badambuzi, this will be his first trip to the stripe today. For Steve Griffin, that's foul number 2. 1:29 left. 79-72 our score. Lewis with a 7-point lead. Timeout is called by Doug Knoll. 79-72. Lewis on top, 1:29 to go. We'll take this break and then return for the finish.
Do you like that sense of personal achievement?
That chance to make a difference? That chance to make friends and network with other professionals?
Then take that chance by serving your alumni association as a volunteer.
Your alma mater needs you. You really can make an impact.
It's that good, and it's that simple. Come on back.
We need you.
Welcome back. 1:29 left. 79-72. Lewis on top of IPFW. The Dons have cut it as low as 4. It was 76-72. And then a key three-point field goal by Lewis. Made it 79-72 and chance for more as Jonah Badambuzi knocks down the first of 2 free throws. Again, it's not insurmountable, but the Dons have to play a perfect 89 seconds of basketball.
And no matter the outcome, both teams have shown a tremendous amount of character.
Free throw missed. Warner with the board, put back in good. Warner has been a thorn in the side today of IPFW. Shot missed. Warner gets the board again. He's going to be fouled, I do believe. Well, they're going to call a jump ball. They're going to call a jump ball. Akani and Warner. And on the possession, it is Lewis basketball. 1:17 to go.
Warner's been a little bit more in the thorn in the side of IPFW. He's played a very good basketball game.
Dons, full court pressure applied. And we got a whistle and a foul. Brad Knoll picks up the foul. His first. No, I think, Charlie Akey, you're down 10. You're not totally out of it. You can't panic. Get the quick shot, get the good shot, but don't panic. Get the will to win.
All 5 players out on the court for IPFW are very reliable three-point shooters. Everybody on the court can make the three-point shot.
Confusion reigns. There was going to be a substitution, but the official tossed the ball to the player. The second free throw is good. So it's 84-72. Griffin, spin move in the lane. Lays it up, no. IPFW gets the rebound, and they call a timeout. 1:02 left.
Right now, you need a quick basket. Either you need a very quick 2 or you need the 3.
Tune in to College 56 next Friday evening for our first live telecast of IPFW men's volleyball this season. The Volley Dons will play host to the Concordia College of Bronxville, New York. That's next Friday evening, January 14th at 8 o'clock, right here on College 56. And I know, Charlie, a lot of high expectations for Coach Arnie Ball's squad. A Final Four participant of a year ago, and especially not to add any extra pressure, but the NCAA Final Four is going to be across the street at the Memorial Coliseum later on this spring. So we wish Arnie and his team well, and we look forward to you coming out here, and if not, coming out here, tuning into College 56 next Friday night, the Mastodons and Concordia College of Bronxville, New York. Back to action here. The Dons with the ball, 55 seconds left. Reach-in foul on Warner. For Jeremy Warner, foul number 4. Brad Knoll to the stripe. Well, now they're going to call 5 fouls. I didn't catch the 4th, but it is ruled 5 fouls for Jeremy Warner.
And that was just as one of the Lewis scorekeepers wanted us to know that Jeremy tonight has a career high 22 points and ties a career high 15 rebounds.
Very impressive performance for Jeremy Warner, 6'8", 210-pound senior. Now, 54 ticks left. Brad Knoll at the line, 2 free throws. You make the first and miss the second, or do you knock them both down and hope the defense comes through?
Well,
immaterial now as the first free throw is missed.
You knock this one down or you try for a steal. If you can't get the steal, you foul.
Second one is good. 84-73. Inbounding is Lewis. Stubblefield in. Fouled by Dwight Crow. Reach in foul. Dwight, that's his first. And marching to the line, Everett Stubblefield, 2 of 2 so far this afternoon. For the year, 17 of 20. That's 85%. Not exactly the guy you want to foul, but with 47 seconds left. Hey, the jinx worked as he misses the first.
He hasn't made a lot of points tonight, Mike, but I tell you, he hit 2 3-pointers in this game at strategic times in the basketball game that really hurt IPFW.
That was his tray with the Dons trailing by 4. Second missed. Monroe gets the board. Has the ball taken away. Stubblefield picks it up, misses it. No, Crow with the board. Knoll for 3. Got hit, but no foul called. Shot short. Monroe gets it. 3-on-1. 30 seconds left. Vargas to Wilson. And Jeremy Wilson delivers the death knell. Sloppiness now. Crow misses the shot. Loose ball. Playground time now. Vargas makes the layup, called for the intentional foul. Benji Gibbs, guilty party, 3rd personal. 13 seconds left. As official score and sports information director Mike Jewell signals to the refs, hey, was that bucket good? And they said, yes, it was. Now Doug Knoll is inquiring what's going on. Giving him 2 free throws.
And then the ball out of bounds.
Second one is no good. 89-73, 13 seconds left. Reserves coming in for Lewis. Callahan. Piercy. Flyers will inbound it. Ball taken away by Crow. Long pass to Gibbs. Reverse slam with 1 second to go. We'll make our final score. 89-75, so a tough ball game.
And I think Brad Knoll got a steal right at the end at 77.
Let's make it 89-77. Looks a touch better on the score sheet, but still it hurts. A tough ball game for the Dons. With a victory, Lewis improves to 10-1, 5-1. I'm sorry, 4-1 in the conference. IPFW drops to 6-5 overall, 3-2 in the conference. But I think Doug Knoll learned a little bit about his ball club today. They had the early lead 7-1, fell behind, came back, made a go of it for a while. Fell behind in the second half by as many as 18 points. Came back, cut it to 4. 76-72 with something like 1:48 left, if my memory is correct.
Right.
And then Stubblefield with the 3. And that, it just seemed like every time the Dons made a run to come back, as we look at a replay here, the final couple of seconds, I believe, is there's the Wise, the Gibbs.
Dunk.
It seemed like every time the Dons made a charge, Lewis made a key basket. Either a three-point shot by a Vargas or a Stubblefield, or an offensive rebound by Monroe or Warner. Like you said earlier, Jeremy Warner, career high, 22 points, career high, 15 rebounds. And it's just one of those things, as you mentioned on several occasions, the Dons gave it their all. There's a future Don.
And they never gave up. That's the big thing. I think what Coach Knoll can take into the next game. The Dons never gave up. They played a very good Lewis basketball team, and they played their hearts out. They just couldn't get over the hump.
In about, hopefully, 15 seconds, we're going to be given our final stats, and we can run down some of these numbers real quickly. Again, a reminder, tuning in a week from tomorrow at 7 o'clock for the replay of this ball game on Channel 50, Power 56 Sports. And also tomorrow night at 7 o'clock or 8:30, I forget which, a replay of the women's game, which was played earlier today, a game that was won by the Flyers of Lewis University. In the business, they call this stalling for time. as Mike Jewell is meandering his way very slowly, he's in trouble. Thank you, sir. Okay. Quick look at some of the final numbers for the victorious Flyers of Lewis. 31 of 67 from the floor, 46%. 5 of 16 from three-point range for 31%. 22 of 31 at the stripe, 71%. Good foul shooting for the Flyers. They were led in scoring by Jeremy Warner with a career-high 22 points. Tari Monroe with 17, Jamal Vargas with 12, John Jones with 10, Everett Stubblefield with 10. 8 points for Jeremy Wilson, 5 points from Josh Verotsko, 3 points from Jonah Batabuzzi, and 2 points from Harley Piercy. With Gibron Carter getting a couple of seconds of playing time and Brendan Callahan getting in, but neither of them scoring.
Balance.
For IPFW, 27 of 62 from the floor for 44%, 9 of 23 from three-point range for 39%, 14 of 23 from the stripe for 61%. That's got to eat it, Doug Knoll. He wants his ball club between 75 and 80% from the line. Individually, Steve Griffin with 18 points, Benji Gibbs with 15, Nick Wise with 14, Brad Knoll with 11, 6 points apiece from Aaron Ishman and Dave Meshberger, 4 points from Michael Akani, 3 points from Dwight Crow, with Randy Spicer and D'Angelo Woodall playing but not scoring. A couple other quick notes. Charlie rebounding, 45-32 advantage. Lewis, 19-10 on the offensive glass. Assists 12-10 in favor of Lewis. Turnovers 14 for Lewis, 11 for IPFW. 3 blocks for Lewis, 1 block for the Dons. 9 steals for Lewis, 8 steals for IPFW. Bottom line, you can't dig yourself an 18-point deficit and realistically expect to come back, but the Dons did give it a try.
They certainly did, and actually had a shot with a break here or there. Could have stolen this basketball game, and that's exactly what it would have been, a steal of a game from the Lewis Flyers. The Dons played played very hard tonight, and that, again, that's something that Coach Noel can take into the next game. Have to get more scoring, or some scoring in this case, from Randy Spicer. Played a lot of minutes, did not attempt a shot.
Well, it is about time for us to say goodbye, but before we do, we want to mention that our program was sponsored in part by Pizza Hut of Canterbury, featuring famous Pizza Hut pizza. We would like to thank, at this time, the College 56 production crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, Comcast Cablevision, the IPFW Learning Resource Center, and especially the IPFW Office of University Relations and Communications for their contributions to this College 56 sports telecast. This College 56 telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this event without expressed written consent is strictly prohibited. Again, we hope you've enjoyed our telecast of IPFW Sports. Thanks again for joining us this afternoon. For Charlie Washington, this is Mike Maas reminding you that the final score today was Lewis University 89, IPFW 77. Remember, next Friday night, live IPFW volleyball. 2 weeks from today, we come back with IPFW basketball. Tomorrow night, women's replay. A week from tomorrow, men's replay. That's it for now. So long from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center on the campus of IPFW.